here for a big one yesterday, and they have returned in huge numbers. Looking for a similar result for their Turkish side as they saw yesterday. Wherever you're watching from, we hope you're ready because Champions League quarterfinals are ready to conclude today as Eczacıbaşı are taking on Milano. First point is on the board, and it's a huge celebration. Daalderop, who was kept relatively quiet last time, comes firing out the gates. First point goes to the home team. Another solid serve, gets some scramble play on Milano's side. It's gonna be a free ball coming back. Easy pickup. Outside, Boskovic. She's going heavy on the right side, the lefty. Gets going early. That ball dying inside on purpose, no doubt. Making the moves, finding ways to avoid the block, and Coach Akbaş talked about how much they had studied their opponent. Recognizing zones to attack is half the battle when it comes to the offense. An early miss by Egonu puts 3 on the board for Eczacıbaşı. Şahin serving still. Targeting Silla. Here comes Egonu again. Goes long once again. No touch called. And no question of a challenge either. So a 4-0 lead for the home side. Good start. And that'll be a quick timeout.
Cercheranno di battere tutto il tempo, perciò anticipate bene le chiamate, soprattutto con l'alzatore che è quello che alterna meglio. And then on the short ball, two, not too much this one, and I'll step less and stop and be ready. Dai ragazzi, andiamo, vai.
A 4-0 lead. Great start for Eczacıbaşı, who have a tall task ahead of them today. Again, targeting straight down that line to Silla. Handles it better on the reception, but Eczacıbaşı send it over with 2 hands. Off the touch. Good pick up in the backcourt. Chance again. Not put down yet. Here comes Silla one more time, swinging high, but this time gets a little tickle of the fingertips. Great defensive work by Eczacıbaşı to force that rally long. Finally, Otto able to go back to serve. One of the better servers on this Milano side. The dropping ace and on the money, on cue. An ace serve from Alessia Otto, targeting Plummer Bowden. She has very little spin when she contacts this ball. Watch it just drop in the air in front of Plummer again on the left side this time. Recycle play. Boskovic, cross court, what a dig from the setter. Here comes Egonu, she's into hands again, recycling. Stays alive, but it's too low. And Eczacıbaşı having some joy early days. Otto trying her best to do some sneaky moves there. She and Denezi knowing each other better than any players on court, perhaps. Of course, no, they play together in national team, but that one just ever so slightly low. Better push back to Egonu, who finds the line even on an inside set. Now we know there have been some changes made on Eczacıbaşı's side in terms of where they're going to block Egonu. Certainly she had some joy last time. Do they take a little more cross on her? Boden goes off hands. Boskovic finds a chicken wing of Oro. A tasty treat for the Serbian opposite. Boskovic, give her an inch, she'll take a mile. Redke standing at 2 meters and 3, one of the more physical players on court. But targeted in the defense, no surprise there. Middle blocker serve, middle blocker defend. Six to 4. Genesi. She's looking for Boden as well. Back to Boskovic. Tip. Handled well to keep it off the floor. Off the orange, that's the goal. And off the hands is the Egonu special. Now Paola Egonu, we mentioned the 26-year-old, is going to be going for points here. Time and time again. She was the MVP and the best opposite of the Olympics this summer. Plummer Boden will know her well as well. With USA national team taking that silver medal against Team Italy. That matchup, tried and true. High ball again, Egonu finds the hands. Here comes the pipe, lands it. Erkek comes firing in, and she'll be one of the least expected to attack. And we got Boden on one side, Boskovic on the other. They're able to open up some space there at the net for the pipe. Daalderop goes line. The Dutch outside hitter finds plenty of space there outside the arms. Trying to close the gap is Egonu. High ball for Boden. She's into hands. Denied. Kurtajic doing what she does best, becoming one of the best blockers possibly in the world of international volleyball is Hannah Kurtajic. Look at those hands in the finish. Ooh, solid serve. Another one. Kurtajic and Daalderop this time on the left side. That's the change. So Kurtajic's been in for just a couple of moments and already 2 big stuff blocks. Well, we're tied up at 8. Egonu going a little too aggressive on the serve, but look how much time has been made up, how much space has been closed. That gap does not exist anymore. Moments ago, it was a 4-point lead for Eczacibasi. Daalderop takes the first. Oh, what a cover by Silla. Tight. Eczacibasi throws it over. Egonu's on the floor. High ball outside. 3 blockers. They know that nobody is on the right side. Does not matter. Daalderop searching for a deep pocket. What a pickup from Silla. Just sprawling to keep it alive. Daalderop, the Dutch outside hitter. Spent some time playing in Turkey as well. She was at Vakifbank for some time. Well, there's confusion. A little bit of commentary. My job. There's the swing, line. Oh, that looks in from that angle, doesn't it? Perhaps out on the back line, but certainly in from the sideline perspective. But that's what the challenge is for. Eczacibasi asking for it. We will get another look at it. Oh, doesn't get closer than that. Eczacibasi will be happy with that result. Another point in their direction. Brings up Sine Jakusal, 31-year-old middle blocker. Well, we know that Coach Akbaş has been asking for a more aggressive serve, but with that comes the risk. There's always that ratio of aces and errors. Kurtajic had a phenomenal ace to error ratio last time, but she's immediately taken off the service line. And kick. Having a great day at the office, the 23-year-old Turkish hitter, who's spent some time playing in Poland previously. Tip from Otto goes unnoticed until the very last moment. That is what she does better than anyone. Told you she had 5 points of her own in the last match. She will get involved in the offense. That's what's so dangerous, is you just cannot keep your eyes off any front row player. Eczacıbaşı requesting the touch, and immediately the change called. Looks like that did come off Denezi's hands. So Eczacıbaşı will take the point. And kick drops it short. Ball sent long, another point in the direction of Eczacıbaşı. Connection not completely on just yet for Milano. Certainly Eczacıbaşı won't be getting comfortable anytime soon. But they have had a few swings go out the back. They'll be welcome, those points. Almost another one, probably a touch on that block. Tip from Bowden. Otto keeps it alive. Same thing on Eczacıbaşı's side. One more time for the American outside hitter. Still not down. Egonu with some finesse. High ball chance for Silla. And again, the touch is there. The run down, but it's too far out of reach. How about that pickup from Otto? Then she turns it into some butter for her teammates. Simge Akoj getting the touch, but too little, too late. Silla goes straight for the libero. Here comes Boskovic, takes something off it. That's the danger of a player like Boskovic. She's with her arm. All the players expecting a hard-driven ball, and last minute, just with the knuckles, finds the floor. 3-point lead for the home team. Radke looking for Jelen. Quick conversion through the middle. We haven't seen a lot of that yet. That first time the connection wasn't working, but this is what is so good between these two. That ball that just drifts ever so slightly from the setter, and Denezi, whip of an arm. In response, Boskovic gets her on the floor. That's 2 tips in a row that have fallen from the arm of Boskovic. Keeping that 2-point lead. Targeting Daalderop, speed from Kurtajic, and I have a feeling we're gonna see a little more through the middle. Otto loves to establish this zone, and again, it's the ball that's ever so slightly pushed. That one all the way to that zone. So Milano maybe continuing to run zone middle rather than moving with the setter. Bowden already having found her rhythm in a better way than last time around. Ooh, very, very close to tagging the end line. Players just giving the eye to their coach. Is it worth the challenge? Oh, I think I was out by maybe a centimeter. Ball shot, Milano. Back to the middle, and again, Kurtajic aiming deep. Any young middle blockers out there, follow these steps. You don't want to swing straight down. You want to aim corners. Deep corner, sideline, end line. That is where there are no defenders. Nobody is sitting there. Everyone creeps in on those short balls. Boskovic again with the tip. Egonu's reading it really well this time. And Silla doesn't have to be asked twice to put the hammer down. A string of points in a row. A lot of thanks to the middle blocking be established. One-on-one on the outside, because Oro has been running her game. Timeout. Eczacıbaşı need to have a chat.
We don't go one-to-one. Daalderop scores a lot of ball girls. Okay, in difficult moment, Egonu has low percent, so they push much more left side. In system, they play with middle. Kurtagic 2 times to 5. Okay, just we will find the position. Keep the rhythm. Okay, try to read.
Let's go! Keep pushing!
Good recognition there. Head coach Ferhat Akbaş reminding his team, hey, if they're in system, that's when they're going to play middle. Problem is, Milano are starting to find themselves in system more often than not, and then Oro just has options. One of Eczacıbaşı's options, always and forever, Tijana Boskovic. Just the bump set wide this time. Enough to get through the arms of her Serbian opponent. Hande Baladin coming in substitution, the Turkish outside hitter, as well as Alexa Gray. We saw this change last time. It was a good change. It's made early this time. Here at 17 apiece. Alexa Gray, 30-year-old Canadian. Solid in the serve, but it's even better in the pass. Milano perfectly in rhythm, and that is when Oro really shines. Just finds enough space, the height, the width, and the speed to get that open spot for her attacker. Substitution reversed as Milano take the lead. Boskovic, oh, nice up there. And it pays off. Boskovic struggling to find the floor. She's tipped a few too many times. Milano are on it. And Kurtajic disallowing that point to fall. That brings up Egonu to get the big points. This time to the outside. Faster, speed of the arm. That's how Erkek operates. It's not so much of a hammer as it is a whip of her arm, and she changes the direction. Going over the smaller blocker, great decision. She's one of the smaller players herself at 182 centimeters, and she's looking right over Alessia Oro, who's 180. There's the speed again. Milano having way too much fun. And again, Danesi involved. Silla ready to attack, but yet Oro taking it into her own hands. She has become a weapon in her own right. If you're a blocker in Eczacıbaşı, who do you pay attention to? Erkek can't get past. High for Egonu, who has to go with two hands. Kept in play. Here comes Boskovic. She'll find it. The coffin corner. Boskovic in system, out of system. High ball, low ball, fast ball, wide, does not matter. She is making something happen. Going back to her swinging ways. Daalderop puts Oro in a tricky spot, doesn't matter. She is going out to Silla, cleaning it up. Silla just hanging in the air, and Silla going up against a pretty tall block in front of her. Like Dana, it's difficult to get past, gotta be super athletic. Boskovic again, high hands. Change of direction as well in mid-air. Decides where she's going to attack, looking at the blockers and defenders and then making decisions. Retki looking for Jelin. Egonu, rinse and repeat. If that doesn't look exactly like the swing Boskovic took moments before. The only difference being left-handed or right-handed, but into that cross-court corner where the defenders are not. There's someone middle back and there's someone left back, but that corner is open almost every single time. Impossible to defend. Change made on Milano's side. Prini, Constantinidou, 28-year-old Greek setter. Played last season in Athens. Goes for Baladin. Boskovic with almost a wide open net. The speed is what beats the block there. First ball perfect by Baladin, and there is nothing that Kurtijic can do but wait to decide where that ball's going. And by that point, it's just too late. Ball's gone. Boskovic racking up some points already this set. What can she get from the end line? How about an overpass? And a joust will do nicely to bring up a tied score. Oro doing everything she can to bring that back on her playing field. The Americans are not having it. Eczacibasi tied up. Will we see a challenge? Yes, we will. Well, I think we already saw it in slow motion. The replay where Oro did have to reach her hands over the net. Now the rule is, if the ball is in the play of the other side, then it's a fault. So if Oro had to reach her hands across the plane of the net into the other side, then the point should be Eczacibasi, and I believe that's the way it was called originally. If she stays on her side of the net and plays the ball, then it's legal. Another question is Oro front row or back row? Because that could also make a difference. So the challenge was for net touch. No touch by any of the blockers. So on we go. Eczacibasi have tied it up. We're up at 22s. And Milano on the receiving end of a Boskovic serve. To float. And it's Daalderop again. Same spot, rinse and repeat. The power from Jackie Sal in that swing. That had some extra spice on it. The change of direction. The snap of the wrist. The aggression and the enthusiasm. That's what you want from some Champions League choices. Well, no doubt Milano came into this gym expecting a battle. There was no chance that Eczacıbaşı was rolling over and letting them win 3-0 again. However, this first set is not yet done. What's Egonu got in the pocket? How about a tip? That's covered, she'll go again. Harder this time. Hand to Baladin, denied, but it's still alive. Free ball sent over. Back outside, and Daalderop takes care of it. Milano having to work double duty here. An excellent cover by Eczacıbaşı's side. That put Milano into basically a free ball situation. Again, the blockers have too many options to try and cover at one time. Watch for the middle attack in front. The C ball, just some space from the setter, but doesn't matter. Ball in the net, no need. Set point is Eczacıbaşı in their home gym with the tiger mascot close by. Hand to Baladin to do the honors. Keeps the ball in play, she finds Silla. Here comes Egonu from the backcourt, goes off the hands of the blockers. And that looked like just a miscommunication between two players. Enough time for Baladin certainly to run it down. But Akoj trying her best too. Tied up again. Daalderop to the libero. Out to Erkek, who goes again. Boskovic, no such luck, no touch, ball out. And with a change of fortune, Milano bring up set points. 25-24, the crowd does not love it. Well, we will have a challenge from Eczacıbaşı. And you wonder if this is just one of those challenges to slow things down. Doing a little lip reading, trying to figure out what the coaches are talking about, but indeed that challenge not perhaps one that was expected to be won. More of just a chance for Coach Akbaş to chat to his players. Set points, Milano. Ooh, now we've got a timeout. Some timeout stalling tactics coming up.
Can go sharper cross and cross from left side is good. Okay, as much as possible we try this. And girls, make sure cover good. Cover good. Haydi
Coach Akbaş, now head coach in Japan, speaking to his team about making sure they play this ball high and off the net. And Eczacıbaşı, a ball that doesn't have to be perfect because he wants his team to be able to get out of it with their attacking. Well, does die. It is almost perfect from Baladin, and it's Boskovic. Erkek into the hands, and it is done. A stuff block from Alessia Otto. And the first set goes the way of the visitors. Milano have found a way to crawl back into this set. Well, it looked as if it was done moments ago. The crowd was in joyous celebration as Eczacıbaşı had. Tiana Boskovic has 9 points so far. She's one of the only players really getting scoring. And on Milano's side, the spread is really deep between 4 or 5 players in terms of offense. Alessia Otto, one of them as well. So I would love to see Eczacıbaşı utilize maybe their middles a little bit more. Just make it more difficult for Milano to block, because that's been one of their strengths. Set number 2. Milano on the right side in the blue, taking on Eczacıbaşı in the purple, and it's rinse and repeat. Daalderop with the first point for Eczacıbaşı, and that is the recipe we asked for. More middles getting involved on Eczacıbaşı's side. They have to open up those pins. They have to make it easier for the outside attackers to find some space. Dynavit into the hand, she recycles, here comes Egonu. That's an easy pickup in the backcourt by Erkek. Daalderop all over it as well. High ball coming for Silla. Somehow, some way, mamma mia. Miriam Silla into the hands of her blockers. Confusion on Eczacıbaşı's side. That's a welcome point, and again, can't take those too much for granted. Eczacıbaşı have to capitalize on those free points. 27-year-old Serbian opposite. Boskovic has been with Eczacıbaşı since 2015. Oh, a little bit of ping pong there. Jackie Sal, there it is. Get those guns firing. The weapons through the middle that Eczacıbaşı have, I feel, have been completely underutilized. And there's the result. You saw one from Retke, you saw one from Jackie Sal. They have the ability to score for Eczacıbaşı. Gotta let them. Tip dies, Egonu catches some defenders on their heels. Now this is something that Boskovic did really well in the first set, changing up her shots, so Egonu taking a piece out of that pie. Daalderop does the same, and I have a feeling there's been a conversation in the timeout on Milano's side. Hey, how to score? Is it swing high and out of bounds and miss the hands, or is it a tip every once in a while? Jackie Sal again, that time kept alive by Silla. Free ball coming back, that's in and of itself a win for Eczacıbaşı. Handled by Dynavit. Egonu ties the tip again, doesn't fall. Bowden on the inside. Took 1, 2, maybe 3 tries, but eventually getting past the Milano defense, and this is why, one of the many reasons that make them difficult to play against. They will defend over and over, and the rallies are going to be long, and Eczacıbaşı have to strap in for the ride. Great block on Kurtajic. High, and there's the tip. It falls again. Egonu with the tip, Egonu with the tip, and Egonu with the tip. Starting to be a little bit, well, I don't know if predictable is the right word, but certainly she's found something that's working. 4 points apiece. On the outside, and Czech having some joy. Silla trying to clean it up in the backcourt. She's patrolling back there, been doing a great job keeping things off the floor, but Eczacıbaşı now up by 1. Overpass for Retke, goes into the block. Off the defense and out of bounds, and a missed opportunity for Eczacıbaşı, and I can only say this as a middle. If the setter's front row, you got to joust instead of attack, even if you have the height advantage on her. Auto there, ready for the block, and that ties it up for 5s. Off hands goes Boskovic. One more time. Oh, the speed and the revenge of fired up Dana Recchi, and that's the best kind. Have a look at the speed of this arm. Absolutely nothing getting between her and the floor. A 1-point lead for the home side. Ball's off the net. Silla doesn't care. Delivers one through the heart of the backcourt. An absolute arrow through the middle of the floor. Kurtajic had 4 aces last time, so far none. Again to Recchi. Rinse and repeat. Use your weapons, and Recchi is one of the best when it comes to this attack. We told in the intro of this match, she is an offensive-minded middle. Use her when you can, and she will deliver. High ball for Danesi in response. That's kept off the floor. Bowden, claim it. And now things start to unlock for the attackers of Eczacıbaşı, and this is what's so important. And I don't just harp on about getting the middle involved because I was a middle, but this makes it easier for the rest of the pins and the attackers. If it's a one-sided offense, if all the balls start to go just to Boskovic, it becomes easy to read. Great pickup. Oh, and a defense. Bowden again. Recchi doing double duty in the coverage. Here comes Silla, and an easy one falls. Starting off with a solid defense, but Recchi just staying on the floor, making sure it doesn't fall. And then arguably one of the easier balls does find the floor. That's what's fascinating about this sport. Boskovic now has some space to work with. The blockers of Milano have to respect Recchi and the other players. Just an ever so slight, tiny split second of delay on Danesi is enough to get some space. Here comes Recchi on Daalderop. Silla's on another level tonight. We know that she is reliable in the offense, but going up against Boskovic is no easy task. Talk about a height difference first of all, with Silla standing at 181 and Boskovic 194. Using brute force is enough. Boskovic uses the hands and keep themselves a 2-point lead, but they won't be getting comfortable. Not anytime soon. Does not matter how hard, how high, how aggressive Boskovic can be. We saw what happened in the first set. Milano were down by a few points and came sneaking back in the last minute. Eczacıbaşı need the greatest lead that they can get to get comfortable. Daalderop swings high, finds the fingertips. Danesi gets an overpass. Kurtajic handles that well. Daalderop again. Offhand, slowed down. Tight and back to the pipe. We haven't seen a whole lot. I'm liking the offense being run now on Eczacıbaşı's side. Elif Şahin recognizing she has to use different zones this time from the backcourt, and she's got Kurtajic on her one-on-one block. But Erkek able to do much more damage this time around. Bowden with an ace serve. Yes, ma'am. Corner pocket, that is absolute money. The American going over the shoulder of Daalderop. themselves a 3-point lead. Same serve. Ball out to Egonu. Daalderop in hands. One more time, high ball. Here comes Boskovic. She is denied. Daalderop, Kurtajic teaming up, taking away all the daylight. Egonu, one of the go-to players when it comes to ace serves, hasn't yet found that footing. Three-point lead, Jackie Sal. Auto again. You had to feel it was coming for a few reasons. One, Auto's front court. Two, it was a perfect pass. Three, she's been a little quiet as of late. And four, middle blocker has just served the perfect storm of reasons why Auto's getting involved in the offense. Oh, Daalderop, let him know. Well, that's one way to get more sets to you. Watch the angle. Are you kidding me? That arm speed is off the charts. We got to get a radar gun on that. (14-11) lead. Eczacibasi putting a little more heat on the Milano side. Boskovic from way outside the antenna. There's nothing she can do there. She's in a really tough spot, and it is the onus of her teammates to cover that ball. Three players in the backcourt just watching, hoping she's going to score. That's not the way to win a volleyball match. And coach mentioned that in one of the timeouts as well. Felek again. She was the Champions League silver medalist in 2023. (15-12) lead. Silla takes that ball, gets it sent her way in response, and a bit of luck. Looks like the whistle was blown. I don't know that there was a touch on that ball. I think it might have been a net touch. Either way, Coach Lavarini will take it. Still a 2-point advantage for the home team. The tipping not working anymore. Things starting to fall apart at the seams. This is the turning point. Milano coming back from the dead. Well, they were never dead, to be fair, but just the 2-point advantage is dwindling away. When I hear that whistle, I think that means timeout.
I repeat, the timing needs to be slower. We have to wait more and little bit slower. Okay. So in this condition, she might chip in here. We can have earlier approach. Okay. For in general, for middle, for Danesi, she scored just one ball. So Viris can go left and right side more. Kurtagic still gets the ball. Okay. Egonu pushes ready. Egonu pushes in front of 6 and 5 ready.
Ooh, a dangerous game. Coach Ferhat Akbaş is playing, asking his middles to leave the middles of Milano alone. Danesi's only had one ball, he's saying. I think that's a recipe for her getting some more, but maybe his middles will get more luck if they just spend a little more energy going out to the pins. Radke, she gets involved. Roll is picked up. Back to the middle. Oh, another defensive play. Off the hands, but rolls onto Eczacibasi's side. Some frustration creeping in. A 3-person block and still not enough to slow down Paola Egonu. Alessia Oro in her 5th season with Milano. There's the two-handed tip. Oro sends it outside to Silla. That's dug. One more time for Bowden, who's going to tip. She covers. Chance from the backcourt, just wide. And Milano are coming back. You can feel the frustration creeping in. Milano need just 2 sets as a reminder. Quick change made on Eczacıbaşı's side. Naz, the 34-year-old Turkish setter, coming in to make some changes. She gives it immediately to Hande Baladin. That's dug. Moskovic covers it, and the tip throw is good on the second time of asking. Sometimes it's just a matter of changing direction, changing speed. Hande Baladin, one of the best, very similar kind of attacking style as Helena Cazot on Milano's side, and we haven't seen yet, but it's more utilizing the block is their specialty rather than power. Egonu, on the other hand, power all day long. That one doesn't fall, goes wide. Daalderop back to serve, certainly having a lot of emotions here today. The 28-year-old American, former Milano player last season. Before that, graduating from the University of Wisconsin. Brings some heat in the serve. And the defense counts for 2 if you're my... Whoa, hang on a sec, ball still alive. Not for long, Danese. Was she in, was she out? Well, the ball was initially called in. Question is whether or not we'll get another look at it. Love that up. The hustle play from Eczacıbaşı. Ooh, tough to tell from that angle. Ooh, still tough to tell. I wouldn't want to be with referees trying to call that. No challenge, so on we play. Tied up at 17, Jakisal with the hammer. And I do love that this prescription has been filled. More middle, and Naz the one to deliver it. The push going past the blocker, and that's what Jakisal did really well there. Wait for it to float, and then cut it off at the last minute. Milano still in it. 18 points apiece. And a 28-year-old Italian middle on the serve. Response from Baladin, adamant. Well, she's been with Eczacıbaşı since 2019, showing off those moves. We haven't seen a whole lot of her today, but she could be a make or break for this team. She's targeting Daalderop, but Oro quick to find her middle. And the space between the two blockers is exactly what Kurtajic's nailing there. 19s. Someone who's still not having success from the end line. That brings up the Trinidad and Tobago middle. Nope, just kidding, substitution. Alexa Gray coming in for her. One of the highest hitting efficiencies last time. She only played 2 sets. It was a good change for Eczacıbaşı. She spent some time in Italy as well, in Conigliano, in Busto, Scandici, also Casalmaggiore. We'll know plenty of these players on the Italian side. There's a big pickup. Outside rip. Doesn't land. But Retki can find a way under the blockers. Highly offensive today. Look at how quickly she gets off the net, gets herself available to attack, and that's the difference. Naz feeding her up. Stefanovic there on the left side of your screen, watching on the other middles from Eczacibashi's side. Timeout called. Eczacibasi up by 2.
Attacchiamo sempre con coraggio, con criterio, occhio perché adesso loro hanno messo su di te uno abbastanza fisso ai tagli qua e si spostano un po' più 6-1 come tu vuoi a track, ma mai pure se sei direzione. Posso pensarlo è meglio.
Coach Lavarini asking his players to attack with a little more courage. They've been having some success going off the hands, going with the tips. Asking Egonu maybe swing a little more towards zone 6-1. We'll see. She pretty much can do what she wants, but always good to have a little input from the coaches. How about getting the middle involved as well? That one has to be one of the better attacks we've seen of Kurtajic. The speed and the delivery from Otto, the height to get around Retki, you have to be precise. Change up here. Elena Kazot, as you mentioned a little bit briefly earlier, 27-year-old French outside hitter. She's brought in for her serve, but also for her defense a little bit. Top spin, gets the overpass, and Kurtajic cleans it up at the net. There is a perfect tactic execution, bringing in a game-time server who gets that overpass exactly as requested. Pietrini, sure of it as well. One more time. High ball behind. Boskovic has to apologize for hitting too hard. Delivery from Naz. Absolute perfection. 1 point lead. Silla handles the first contact, and then she goes line with it. Returns the favor from the server. She sees that open, and you see Boskovic trying to take cross on her, giving her just that tiny bit of space. Substitution. We've seen this one before. I believe probably Anna Schreck coming in the block. Yes, she is right front there in lieu of Oro. And the idea to slow down that outside attack doesn't matter. Eczacibasi is going straight through the middle as they have done time and time again. Retki is on a roll. (23-22). Kazot with the first contact. Egonu with the next. Ball's in play. Boskovic, and she finds it. That's the floor, and that's a point. That is Eczacibasi forcing their way towards the end of this set. All the players breathing or not breathing, depending on the case. Timeout called. Set point, Eczacıbaşı, and they have two of them. A comfortable position, but certainly cannot take their eyes off the prize. Milano came sneaking back in the first set. Okay, in play. The overpass. Otto handles that nicely. Tip throws kept off the ground. One more chance for Silla on the inside. The deep defense and one more throw from Baladin does not fall. Silla gets it going. Naz back to Boskovic, the tip throw. Kazot doing double duty in the defense. Are you on another level? Helena Kazot, take a bow for that defense. Once to the left, and the big swing goes down, but that was not the entire rally. That is how you play defense when your backs are against the wall.
Remember, all drop serve. Start inside, trust yourself, okay? So, Egonu, remember, she goes 2 arms inside. This option is very available. Also the pushes, okay? Silla, she's sailing very late. She shows her hands very late. So you can go block out from the fingers, okay? So Danesi, if there is out of system, she will go double arm to cross, okay? Let's go!
A lot of information in that timeout, and those are the kind of timeouts I love. When coaches are giving you tidbits to think about, to focus on, not just a motivational speech. Let's see if it works. Eczacıbaşı still have set point here. Oro with the dropping serve as called out. Baladin into the block, and it's denied. Danesi throwing those hands inside, and where was the coverage? Well, two players hoping the other would get it, and Kerticic, the most supportive of all the bench for her fellow middle. 24-24, short serve on Retki. Boskovic, denied again, 2 in a row. Anna Danesi, what did you have for breakfast? Watch that inside arm, and the fight from Milano is not done. Set point and essentially match point, Milano. Third set, third swing, high ball. And it's done. It is absolutely over. Milano come back from 2 set points down to win the second set over Eczacıbaşı. And with those 2 set wins, Milano is going on to the Final Four. Against a 3-person block, Silla has done it after 2 stuff blocks in a row from Danesi. This Milano side is incredible. The silence of the crowd tells you everything you need to know. Milano shocking Eczacıbaşı in a turn of events. The same score, 26-20. If you've ever been here, let me tell you, your heart has just sunk into your stomach and you have to go out and play. Set number 3, Eczacıbaşı playing for the glory. Milano take the first points. Danesi was phenomenal at the end of that the end of the second set, just denying the team any joy. And the first point, for the first time, goes Milano's way. The energy has changed on Eczacıbaşı's side, as you can probably imagine. Eczacıbaşı, I thought that ball was out, but Boskovic taking the points for her side, 1-1. Ball's in play, Silla Underneath it, free ball from Egonu. Tip handled well. And Baladin gets the touch on the outside. Well, you're seeing a lot of somber faces on Eczacibasi's side, and I think you can imagine why. Any point from here on out is just for pride. Good use by Otto holding Danesi. I think Danesi giving her a little love tap as well on the way through. Ball's in play at 2-2. Baladin with the tip, gets a scramble. Two players on the floor, still up. Redke can't find the floor. Egonu denied, that'll feel nice. A toasty way to stop Egonu. Forearms in the right direction. Redke having some joy. 3-2 lead Eczacibasi. Down the middle. Here comes Egonu. She'll tip. Clever play by Egonu. Again, you'll see her with a lot of hard-driven balls. She loves that cross-court angle. Loves to swing high over the hands, but she recognizes opportunities as well. So if you see her put that ball in tip, it's probably when there's a middle blocker back there. Boskovic has been the top scorer for Eczacibasi with 13 points so far. Gets another set here from Naz. Make that 14. The go-to scorer, and I do love about the second set, and we asked for it, there was more middle involved. Boskovic is one of the best opposites in the world, but it felt as though Eczacibasi were relying on her way too much in the first set. And a one-sided offense just isn't going to get it done. Four. Egonu with her 5th service error, has not been able to get that going yet today. Daalderop targeted. Comes Egonu from the back court, rolls it onto Boskovic. Kek finds the sideline. Just enough underneath the hands of the blockers. 2-point lead as Eczacibasi have had in both sets leading to this one. Short serve. Here comes Daalderop. Goes into the hands, so much power on it that it goes way out of bounds, out the back. Daalderop now on the service line. What a rip. Jackie Sa, we saw a few of those in the last couple of sets. I'd love to see more of it, but utilizing her sparingly. But have a look at the power she's able to generate when she does get a good set. One of the more physical, strong middle blockers on court today. A 7-6 lead for Eczacibasi. Anna Kurtajic, who was in Nantes last season in France, drops one on Redke. And again, it's Kek. She's had some success here today. Didn't get a whole lot of playing time last time these two teams met. Ooh, very close. Almost worth a challenge. Not sure that we will see it though. Oh, maybe we will after that replay if everyone got to see the same thing. You had a feeling it was just close enough to have a second look. Out of bounds indeed. So it is Milano's point instead. And I think we're going to have a challenge of the challenge. So the first question was ball in or out. The second now is whether or not there was a touch on it. I think Alessio Oro's right arm might be the culprit. So we'll get a second look here. I just wonder if we might see a change of personnel on the court as well, knowing that Milano have taken the match already. There it is, there's that touch. Good counter challenge by Coach Akbaş. Oh, hang on a sec. Am I mistaken? I thought that was a touch by Alessio Oro. I must have missed something. On we go. 7 points apiece and an ace serve from Eczacıbaşı. She had 4 of them last time these two teams met. She's been waiting patiently to get another one, and there it is. Dials it into the corner. Power and precision from the Serbian. Goes 2 in a row. That is a good looking finish from the middle blocker. She's been one of the players on Milano's side that adds consistency in all areas. No spin on that serve, forcing 2 players to look at it and try to take it. 3 ace serves in a row. Eczacıbaşı is on another level. We know her for her block and attack, but how about that? An ace serve or 3. Seven lead for Milano. Eczacıbaşı drops one short this time, handled much better, and Rekki's in the right place at the right time through the middle. That's one of the changes I was really pleased to see in that second set, just using her more. Eczacıbaşı, one of the tallest, possibly not the most experienced internationally, but certainly establishing herself as one of the better middles in the game. Got to be able to use the weapons that are at your disposal. Free ball coming on Eczacıbaşı's side. Quick to Boskovic, that's a tip throw. Danesi does the same. And Oro causes some confusion. Another scramble play, this rally going on tip for tip. Not gonna fall yet. Rekki wants to put some power on it. Still not going down. Silla again. Another play on the outside, and the blockers. This was the damage caused in the first couple of sets, and Danesi losing her footing there a little bit. Her legs must be exhausted. Just working overtime is the Italian middle. Blocking's been phenomenal in the first couple of sets. 7 blocks for Milano, 0 for Eczacıbaşı. And another one, won't count in the stats as a block, but just as good. Danesi patrolling the net for her side. Ooh, one little hand involved of Egonu as well. 4-point lead, Milano. It's the first time in this match they've had a lead like this. Usually trailing. And again, finding Rekki is the source. I love that Naz just moving up the net, Gets herself some space. Denezi's not following her all the way, and she knows that. Just looks outside of her eye, out of her peripheral vision, if you will. High ball shot. Silla has a go at it. That'll do. Just enough. All things starting to come up, Milano. From outside the antenna, what a play. 13-9 lead. It's a big ask for Eczacıbaşı to find some energy, a second wind here in the third set. Retki on Jelin. Egonu finds the middle blocker in the defense as well. Boskovic comes hammering in. What a D from Silla. Daalderop makes Retki play. And it's Boskovic again. That one down the line. It's going to be a free ball. This should be put away by Eczacıbaşı. Let's see. Not yet. A rundown from Oro, but probably rethought jumping over the banister. Better to save her health than sacrifice when the team's already in the lead. And they've already essentially taken the set and the match. Not the set, but the match. 2-point spread. Retki goes line, just long with it. 14-11, Milano. Every point, a nail in the coffin, closer to their goal. And Baladin sneak one underneath the blockers. And now that Jackie Sal's been established, look at the difference. Kurtajic has to play, keeping in mind that the middle is an offensive threat. Then there's an open block on the outside. Oh, that's the 1-2 punch, the specialty. Oro loves that set over the quick ball, so it looks like she's going to use Kurtajic, and she doesn't, but uses Daalderop with equal speed. Double sub on the court for Milano. Egonu and Oro coming out. Konstantinidou and Smrek into the mix. Anna Smrek, 21-year-old Canadian opposite, in for that big block in the front court. She's avoided, and instead, ball goes back to Jackie Sal. Jackie Sal, also one of the players that spent some time in Italy. She played in Megabox. She was in Poland, Japan, in Russia. She's had so much experience around the world, and that is why she's able to generate that strength in her attack. Well, the pressure from the serve dwindling on Eczacıbaşı's side as more and more finding their way out of bounds. Tip throw from Naz, that doesn't fall. Outside. And it lands. Silla, somehow the golden touch. Over the blockers, but inside the defenders. 17-13 lead. Oh, out of system play. Jackie Sal with the 1-2 step. A little hop, skip, and a jump for the middle blocker. Expecting it faster, and then just said, you know what, let's just turn this into a full-blown right side attack. Jackie Sal was the best spiker in Japan in 2020, for good reason. Slightly low for Kurtajic, unable to get her arms fully around it. Do like the idea still of using the middle when possible. Another good ball in. Back to Smrek, who looks for some touches. Not there. Smrek recently graduating out of the University of Wisconsin. It's a 17-16 lead. Timeout called.
A moment that we can keep the 2-3 points that bring us to the end of the set in the best way possible. So keep pushing.
Well, very little to say in these timeouts. Both coaches, both teams know exactly what the deal is, but who is going to finish out this set? That's the question. Keeping their eyes on the prize is Milano. Big swing directly into the arms of Eczacibasi and Smrek. That, my friends, is a decisive block. Try getting around that. 2-point lead. 3 aces the last time she was at that place. Oh, okay, with the tip. Clever from Boskovic. Over the head of the defender. You saw Eczacibasi creeping in. They know each other from national teams. She said, all right, she's going to tip on me. I'm going to get up there short. Silla. Seems as if everything Silla touched turned to gold in the last few sets. This time over-rotating ever so slightly, and that brings Eczacibasi tying it up. And an ace serve, the first of its kind. Eczacibasi has struggled to get those aces in this match, and it is about time. Naz dialing it in on Daalderop. Well, a quick change of events, change of personnel. Coach Lavarini not wanting to spend too much time longer here in Istanbul, puts back in his starting setter and opposite. And the connection immediately. The gold medalists from Paris going toe-to-toe there. Auto to Danesi. Even out of system, finding a way. Auto short on the middle. Retke returning the favor. Here comes Egonu. Cross court, that's Doug. Chance to swing. And it's high and just past the blockers. I thought in real time that might have touched the blocker's hands. Boskovic trying to find some solutions to some very tricky problems. So the timeout called here. Eczacibasi want to have a chat.
If you can tip in front of her in this condition, okay? In here, the blocky side, so make sure that they still go cross as much as possible at blocking position out of system. Transition, we have to be a little bit more quicker, especially with middles, okay? And try Brazilian step much more, especially to left side. Haydi bakalım.
Here we go! Haydi! Over!
Milano up by 1, and they've caused all sorts of trouble for Eczacibasi's side. Auto at the service line. She had an ace early on in the match, gets an overpass there. It's good enough. Forcing a grab by Naz, who's reaching over the net there. And it doesn't count as an ace in the stat sheet, but for me it's just as good. If you can force that passer to send the ball back to your team. This time, kept on Eczacibası's side, but so is the attack. A big stuff block again. It's Dynavit. She is doing all kinds of damage for Eczacibasi. She waits. I'm full of it. That went straight in the net. Apologies. From the angle, I thought it was a Dynavit block. But that is an overpass, that's for sure. Eczacibasi struggling to keep themselves focused. And Milano are just 2 points away from victory here. An ace serve in the corner. Alessia Otto, one of the better servers in, well, certainly all of Italy and perhaps all of volleyball, just drops it in the corner. That brings up match point for Milano. Retke slows the bleeding, but perhaps just the inevitable. Naz using her middle again. That's one of the changes I've been impressed by on Eczacibasi's side. Still match point Milano. Jelin with the first contact. Dynavit has to recycle. High ball coming for Egonu on the right side. It's touched in the defense. Run down coming. Retke plays it. Here comes Otto back to the pipe. Dynavit is nowhere in sight. It's a Retke block. Excellent recognition by the American, leaning into that corner in that angle. Still match point Milano. Can Eczacibasi have a miracle comeback here? No, they cannot. It is done. Milano takes set number 3 in an exhaustive fashion. And there's very little celebration because most of it was done after set number 2 when Milano booked their tickets to the Final Four. Well, it was 3-0 in Milan and another 3-0 here in Istanbul. Milano establishing themselves again, one of the best teams in the world.